Okay, well, of course, the big news is Miss Universe. There's so many things going on with Miss Universe. We know, I'd like to know how you guys reacted the first time you heard that United Arab Emirates is going to participate for the first time in Miss Universe. First time I read about that on social media, I said to myself, no, this can't be true. There's no way in this world. This has to be a hoax. This is fake news. So I spent like hours and hours and hours searching for some reliable source, and finally, boom, a Miss Universe UAE Instagram account has been created by its national director. So, okay, fine. Now I believe it. There's going to be UAE competing in Miss Universe. Let's start with Hector, darling. What was your reaction? What was your impression the first time you heard it?
Well, first, I don't have any issue with a first contestant from the Arab Emirates, whatever. But the only thing
UAE.
I don't like about this is because I just a few days ago received a message from supposed national directors that they are very angry with the Miss Universe organization because of the requirements of the candidates to compete in the pageant. For example, in this new franchise for Miss Universe, they allow every girl from every part of the world to compete in this pageant, and she can compete and she can win and she can go to Miss Universe. And this is so different when you see all the other franchise that if you want to compete in the pageant, you need to be live like 6 months and then to be a resident and then to be a passport, whatever. But my issue is why Miss Universe organization allow some requirements for this country and not for other countries. That's my only issue, because I don't have any issue with a contestant from another country competing in the pageant, because we saw Natalie Glegova, she was from Russia, and she won like Miss Canada. But this is like, if you want tomorrow, a lot of candidates can go to this country and compete in the pageant like this. I don't know. I'm lost in some way here in this last decision of Miss Universe. And this is nothing against the Filipinos, because I know they doing a good and an excellent job with the franchise, with the photos, with the clothes, with everything. But why? Because the difference in some, with them and the other franchise.
Right. Okay, before we continue, just to let everybody know who is not familiar with this news, I just want to share this information that first came out announcing UAE competing in Miss Universe. Can everybody see it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so Miss Universe organization opens door to UAE. Filipinos lead team behind pageant. So basically, we have overseas Filipino workers in Dubai who actually started this pageant. And this is the national director. His name is Josh Eugen. He also is the editor and the owner of, is it Exclusive Fashion Magazine, I believe? It's
yes.
One of the most important or significant fashion magazines in the Middle East. So that's Josh. I haven't had a chance to speak to him, but I always wanted to interview him, but he hasn't responded to any of my inquiries. So basically, that's it. And let us see. Fern Amado is the head of creatives, fashion design, another Filipino. He is a very famous fashion designer, and he actually designed Miss Universe Philippines Rabia Mateo's evening gown, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So let me see. And of course, we have Maggie Wilson, who is a former Binibining Pilipinas World, and she is the creative consultant for the team. And other officials and whatnot. And it says here when I said that there's no swimsuit competition. no swimsuit competition. Eugen said that the winner will embody the pageant's mantra, breaking stereotypes. So what Hector is saying is that it seems like UAE has a different set of rules as far as selecting its winner compared to the other countries that follow the traditional Miss Universe rules and regulations as far as selecting their winners. So, of course, I'm not surprised that some national directors think that this is not fair because the UAE winner is being judged in a different set of standards. But my question is, if once the UAE winner goes to Israel to compete in Miss Universe, how is she going to be judged in a swimsuit competition? Are we going to see another Miss Bangladesh? Remember in 2019, Bangladesh competed time, but as a religious Muslim, she didn't feel comfortable wearing a traditional swimsuit or a bikini, so therefore they allowed her to wear some sort of like athletic wear. So I don't know. What do you think? Phil, what do you think?
Well, first of all, you threw all the gauntlet right there. We went through the controversies first. Well, anyway, so when I first heard about Miss UAE, Miss Universe UAE, I was like, interesting. Because apart from Israel, like it's one of that region is represented by just how many countries, right? So it's exciting having this one of the most glam countries in the world, Dubai, the most glamorous city right now. So I'm like, let's see how it progressed. And then looking at the contestants, and I was like, oh my God, it's the clash of the goddesses. We were all treated by these beautiful, gorgeous girls. And somehow I'm still haven't updated myself on who's the top 30, but I'm excited. I'm all excited for it. As of right now, regarding the controversy, swimsuit competition, well, personally, I think I have to be, or we all have to be in Dubai, or we have to be in a certain country to understand the culture or what is happening there, And let's judge it like when Miss Universe comes in, like if she's gonna compete in swimsuit or not, But most of them are all models, so I'm pretty sure they're all worn swimsuits, in once of their lives.
Okay, that sounds good. Mm-hmm. Antonio, what do you think? Do you agree with Phil?
Well, I have okay, great. I have a mix of emotions. When I heard about that, at the beginning I thought it was fake, but once I heard that actually was happening, the first word that came to my mind was business. That's something I personally don't like about the new Miss, like wherever the Miss Universe organization is going to, because it's too much business recently, and I don't like that. It's like everybody knows that UAE is like a lot of money, so they knew that, like if they have somebody there, they have a contact already that they can have, more income, in that particular region. So that's why they decide to open that. I'm okay, to be honest, with the fact that girls can compete. If I'm not wrong, I'm not sure, Hector, maybe I misunderstood. But I thought that you can compete at least you're resident there for, I think, a couple of maybe 3-6 months. I'm not sure about the rules, but if they are, I'm totally fine, to be honest. Even I know that the States is like that. If you live there, I think for 3-6 months in the States, I think actually you can compete. So I'm totally fine with that. And if we have a winner, I would love to be like a real girl from that particular country. Yes. About the swimsuit competition in that particular country, to be honest, I'm totally fine. I think that each country should have a little bit independence, and they should decide whether or not they will have a swimsuit competition based on religions, based on whatever. At least that they have a winner, and that winner is gonna compete in Miss Universe.
Okay, that's a good point. Peter, what do you think?
Look, I think it is a sign of things to come. I have always actually suspected that the swimsuit competition is probably on its way out. The whole purpose of
don't say that. No. don't say that.
And look, I think the whole purpose of the swimsuit competition really was to please the swimsuit sponsors from back in the day. And it's a tradition that we've held on to for many, many decades. I think as we change as a people, and I think as we change with the way that we see things and way that we approach life, I think more and more people are starting to question the relevance of having a swimsuit competition. And I know there's the angle about it's all about the fitness and the health. Well, we don't need to have a swimsuit competition to show a healthy and a fit woman. One of the first major Grand Slam pageants to get rid of it was Miss World, as you guys all know. And, Julia Morley had was absolutely correct with what she was saying. Swimsuits do nothing for me. It has nothing to do with the crown and the title and the ability of my winner. So I actually think we're heading down that way. With the rules, the UAE is a latecomer into Miss Universe, and it's a first-time license holder as well. I think that because of this, Miss Universe might actually relax the rules for everybody else as of next year. Is it a good thing? I think it's yet to be seen. I think it opens the door for more inclusion. I'm not a Muslim, so I can't really speak on behalf of their culture, of the religion. My very basic knowledge of it was I thought beauty pageants was actually against the whole ethos and belief of the religion. But again, I'm not a Muslim, so I can't speak on their behalf. It's a question that I do raise. The other thing that I also believe is that the UAE, I have no doubt, will produce a quality representative to the competition. We can see that already in their photos. To have a Filipino cast of directors speaks volumes. I think it shows the passion, the influence of the Filipinos when it comes to pageants. Just alone in this live stream, there's 3 of us of Filipino background. So that says a lot. And to have the best of the best in the industry be actually Filipinos and lead
I think Hector's Filipino too by osmosis.
Actually, correct. Based on the flag behind Hector, you are an honorary Filipino. I think it actually speaks a lot. So
Antonio will be Filipino soon.
I want a Filipino boyfriend.
That's a scoop. Okay, that's another live stream, Hector. We got to talk. I do believe that we're going to have a quality contestant who may probably even make the semifinals, if not the finals, for this year. And I'm saying that before we even know who the UAE representative will be. And it'll be interesting to see what they do and how they accommodate that delegate when it comes to the swimsuit competition.
Do you think it's okay for UAE to be judged differently compared to the other girls?
Absolutely not.
Competition?
No, I don't. I don't believe that they should be judged in a different way. I think just like we allow women to choose between a bikini and a one piece, I think this kind of opens the door for them to choose a burkini. Or, like a full body swimwear. How the judges judge that is up to them. But I absolutely do not believe that they should be judged a different way. Everybody should be judged the same way, especially in a competition like this, until they change the rules, of course.
Yeah, just to add some history regarding this debacle. In the early days of Miss World and Miss Universe, you had predominantly Muslim countries that competed in these pageants, and they wore swimsuits. Lebanon, Tunisia, Morocco, Iraq, and even Jordan at one point competed. Yes. And now you have Indonesia, Malaysia. I mean, they're all competing, in these pageants, and they don't mind wearing swimsuits at all. So I don't see the problem with it. I think for some, maybe it's not so much so it's religious as it is cultural, I believe.
Correct.
And now because of the Abraham Accords, now that the United States, or rather Israel, has opened its doors to establish economic ties with UAE and Morocco and other Middle Eastern countries, Miss Universe thinks, okay, well, this is an opportunity for us to make more money. Why don't we court these Middle Eastern / Muslim countries who are oil-rich countries? Let's entice them to join our pageant.
Yeah. But
we have to make some exceptions, so to speak. We just need the money, okay? We need your money. Give us $100,000 for a franchise fee, and we'll eliminate the swimsuit competition for your contestant. How's that? Agreed? Agreed. Simple as that. Okay. Now, besides UAE, there's another, of course. Morocco has not competed in Miss Universe since 1957. I'm just guessing. So it's exciting that this country, which is pretty modern compared to the other Muslim countries, returning to the pageant. So I'm really, really very happy with that news. Now let me see. Let me show you the Miss Universe Morocco Instagram account. Start.
C'est un retour en grâce pour la compétition internationale Miss Univers. 75 participantes d'autres pays seront en compétition pour une seule, soit couronnées le 12 décembre 2021. De 18 à 28 ans, vous avez le rêve de devenir Miss Univers et être l'ambassadrice du Maroc à cet événement. Il suffit de remplir le formulaire dans le site. Les candidates seront jugées pour leur beauté, personnalité, compétences de vie. Dernier délai pour participer est le 31 octobre 2021. La gagnante du concours Miss Maroc sera annoncée le 7 novembre.
So I thought that was a very cool advertisement for Miss Universe Morocco, And okay, wait, hold on. Shut up! Hold on a second. Okay, I had to silence that woman. I can't stand her. Anyway, so one thing is that French is the official language in Morocco because Morocco was a former French colony, and I'm glad to hear French again. For a long time, and they follow exactly the standard rules that Miss Universe give to all the other countries. There's no exceptions. So the winner of Miss Morocco would gladly compete in the swimsuit competition at Miss Universe. So that I'm very, very happy. Okay. Reactions. Phil, what do you think?
All right. So, well, of course, the more the merrier.
Exactly.
Morocco was less represented in eons, right? So it's always exciting to see these new countries, learn about this country. So aside from knowing about Fez, knowing about the certain cities in Morocco, we get to see the people finally, right? My question is, are there going to be Filipinos behind the Miss Universe Morocco franchise?
No, but maybe they will hire a walking coach who's Filipino, maybe, or some Filipino fashion designers. But Morocco has money. They probably have connections with famous Lebanese designers. Lebanese designers are some of the best in the world.
Yes.
So I can imagine Miss Universe Morocco competing wearing this one of this beautiful, lavish, expensive Lebanese design gown. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's where they do the most colorful textiles too, right? In one of the cities. But moving on with Morocco's rules, I think what I said, to go deeper with Miss Universe UAE, that we have to be there personally or to know how is it in such countries. Like in UAE, most people there are for business. So most likely they can get citizenship in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, who knows?
Right.
Whereas in Morocco, it's more of a, countries who's yet to be known by us. So it's more of a traditional rule. So I guess I really have no problem. I guess the more the merrier, like what I said.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Antonio, can you imagine Miss UAE and Miss Morocco as the last two girls standing?
I don't think it will happen, but that will be very interesting. I would love that happen as well. They're not who knows what will happen, like what happened in 1999 with Mapule, that first girl, and she won. Let's see. But about when I'm happy to see Morocco back in Miss Universe pageants. Very happy. It's always great to see countries coming back. As Phil says, more countries better. However, sometimes I was thinking, like when the Miss Universe organization announced that Israel was hosting, we know that some countries started to withdraw. So I was wondering if maybe Miss Universe, they were like, just in case, let's ask some other countries, to join. So for money, and also because we need to have at least, let's say 70 countries to compete. So I was wondering, maybe actually that happens. I know that the Miss Universe pageant, I think that before they used to have a quota. I think that now with the new organization, they don't have a quota anymore of the countries that participate. But I'm wondering, maybe that's actually what happened.
Okay, that sounds about right. Hector, what do you think?
I'm so happy that they're back. This is going to be my next trip. I'm going to Morocco.
Where, in Marrakesh, maybe, or Casablanca?
Maybe. Casablanca, Marrakesh, and then jump to Spain, and then jump to Australia. I'm so happy I'm so happy, and this is a good news for Miss Universe, and this is a good news for pageantry. New countries, they're back. Let's see what they're going to bring to Miss Universe.